Chapter 7, Build a Furnace, a Set of Equipment. The World Channel was very lively. The focus of the discussion was on the black-striped grass that Mike had on the shelf. Even if someone had found out how to replenish energy, no one had announced it. Most people didn't know anything. Mike had listed on the black-striped grass and opened up a new world for them. Many people sent private messages to Mike asking him where he got those special materials. Some of them wanted to collaborate with Mike to make money, but he was just trying to get what he needed. There were also some people who wanted to team up with Mike and work for him. Mike ignored them all. Now all he needed was iron and copper ores. He didn't care about anything else. He wouldn't even consider other suggestions. Many people who went out in groups encountered the problem of a lack of energy. They couldn't find a solution. But they had heard about the trade market. They didn't think twice about trading with Mike. Iron ore. Copper ore. These things needed blueprints to be used. At the present, not many people had blueprints. They didn't even know what iron ores and copper ores were used for, but they knew the value of energy. Commodity transaction successful, iron ore +1. Commodity transaction successful, copper ore +1. The 20 sets of black-striped grass in Mike's hands were quickly sold out. He received 14 iron ores and 6 copper ores. He still lacked 4 copper ores. Mike put up another 20 sets of black-striped grass. It's appeared again. This Mike guy put up another 20 sets of special resources. Where did he get such a precious resource? It looks like grass. It can't be grass, right? A natural resource. Chew, don't eat grass. I ate one just now, but it didn't have any effect. I was directly poisoned to death, so I had to respawn. Looks like it's not as simple as grass. I'm still at the camp. Has that pro gained enough energy to leave? I sense a shift in the world. Where are we going to mine iron and copper? I don't have any materials here. The World Channel was in an uproar again because of Mike's resources on the market. Mike turned off the World Channel. It was a waste of time to watch them talk about him. He would just wait for the copper ores to increase in number. Soon, the materials needed to build a basic furnace were gathered. Iron ore, 2 1/10. Copper ore, 1 2/10. Energy, 60/100. Basic furnace, start manufacturing. Mike used the black-striped grass to recover the 60 energy he had lost. He took note of the time left for the furnace to finish crafting and went out to farm monsters to kill time. He cleared a bunch of exotic beasts in the wild and was now level 12. Furnace, crafting completed. The furnace was now complete. Mike took out the furnace from his backpack and placed it on the ground. Basic furnace. Can be used to make equipment below level 30. Can be used to make traps and catchers. Can be used to make wood, stone, and other tools. Can be used to build houses, castles, and other necessary materials. Add a blueprint and you can make more tools. Adding higher level blueprints can be used to upgrade the furnace. The basic furnace came with many crafting recipes. Blueprints could also be added for blueprint expansion. Mike looked at the equipment crafting interface. Level 10 blue staff. Requirements, 10 wood, 2 iron ores, 1 set of level 10 fangs, 1 set of level 10 claws. Mike did not have wood. However, that was not a big problem. He listed more items on the trade market. 1 stalk of black-striped grass for 10 pieces of wood. Wood was easy to find as it was everywhere. The trade market soon began to beep. As for the level 10 fangs and level 10 claws, Mike didn't have them. But he could use 10 pieces of level 0 claws to synthesize 1 set of level 10 claws. The same was true for the fangs. During this period of time, Mike had hunted exotic beasts and obtained many beast materials. It was more than enough to assemble the materials to synthesize a level 10 blue staff. Above blue quality was purple. Level 10 purple staff. Requirements: 3 level 10 blue staff, 30 wood, 10 iron ore, 1 level 10 purple tusk, 5 level 10 tusks, and 5 level 10 claws. The hardest to obtain among them was the level 10 purple tusk. However, it was a sheer coincidence that when Mike had killed the level 10 boss exotic beast, he just happened to obtain a purple tusk. The materials were synthesized. Level 10 purple staff, successfully created. The purple staff appeared and fell into Mike's hands. Level 10 purple staff, plus 50 magic attack, plus 10 physical attack, plus 1% skill damage, minus 1% skill cooldown. Purple equipment is strong. It also adds skill damage and reduces the cooldown. Godlike equipment that I encounter in the future will definitely be stronger. Mike was pleasantly surprised as he had only expected magic attack to be added but received other stat upgrades as well. He continued to use the furnace to craft more equipment. Without purple materials, he could only make blue equipment. Until his armor was made, he wouldn't have another chance to make purple equipment. Level 10 purple armor. Requirements: 3 level 10 blue armor, 30 wood, 5 iron ore, 1 set of level 10 purple fur, 20 sets of level 10 fur. Mike had level 10 purple fur. If he was short of wood and iron ore, he would head to the trade market. If he was short of fur and materials, he would head out to hunt exotic beasts. Those materials would be easily gathered. All of them were then placed inside the furnace. Level 10 purple armor, successfully made. Level 10 purple armor, plus 200 vitality, plus 30 physical defense, plus 30 magic defense, plus 1% damage reduction, plus 1% control reduction, plus 5 max energy. Not only did it increase a large number of attributes, but there were also all kinds of reductions and an increase in the max energy. Mike's energy had increased to 100/105. Something else also appeared that piqued Mike's interest. When energy decreases, all attribute percentages decrease. When energy increases, all attribute percentages increase. The current max energy has increased by 5%, hence all attributes increased by 5%. This was a hidden message. There was actually such a benefit in increasing the max energy. Because of this level 10 purple armor was definitely worthy of being called a piece of godlike equipment. His set of equipment was complete, and among them were 2 pieces of purple equipment. Mike should be the best geared amongst them all. Although his level was not the highest, his combat ability must be the strongest. After that, Mike continued to study the furnace. He created 2 items, trap and a catcher. Traps were easy to understand. Once an exotic beast or enemy stepped into a trap, they would suffer all kinds of damage, such as poisoning, movement restrictions, critical injuries, and so on. As Mike was a mage, his survival ability was very weak. In the future, he would place a circle of densely packed traps around himself when he fought. He would be able to withstand that. Mike had flash, so he didn't have to worry about getting caught in the trap. Once he discovered a problem in that situation, he could flash out of the trap's range. His survivability would be greatly guaranteed. As for the catcher, it was a bit more interesting. It could allow Mike to capture exotic beasts alive. As to capturing exotic beasts alive, Mike didn't know what they were for. Perhaps it could be used for research, breeding, or even taming as a pet. Mike had no intention of capturing exotic beasts as pets for the time being. Even if he were to capture them, what kind of exotic beasts would be of use? They couldn't withstand a single blow, so weren't worth capturing and raising at all. creating 180 traps and carry them around to throw them all over the floor during a fight. Mike wanted to laugh as he pictured that scene. Chapter 8, Materials Discovered. Competitors appear. Mike created traps with different effects. Currently, the number of traps that the furnace could craft was limited. Level 10 rope trap, able to bind exotic beasts below level 10 for 50 seconds, level 10 exotic beasts for 10 seconds, level 20 exotic beasts for 1 second. No effect on exotic beasts above level 30. Level 10 poison trap, able to kill exotic beasts below level 10, deal 500 damage to exotic beasts above level 10, and average slow effect. Exotic beasts above level 20 deal 200 damage, low slow effect for 5 seconds. No effect on exotic beasts above level 30. There was more. Level 10 mud trap. Sharp blade trap. Frost trap. Fire trap. Hold on. He could use the blueprints to unlock more traps. He could also synthesize traps. If Mike could gather the materials needed to create the traps himself, he would. The rest would be obtained from the trade market. The target was to carry around about 100 traps or so. A large amount of black-striped grass was uploaded to the trade market. Everyone was in an uproar. What's up with this Mike? Does he really have an endless amount of energy? He's too extravagant. I really want to see the world this mogul is living in. I collected 30 special materials from the wood trade. If I'm lucky, I'll be able to fully recover my energy 3 times over. After 3 days, I won't be afraid to go out and explore. Hee hee. Are Mike's materials unlimited? Can anyone verify this? I'm struggling here. I found a copper mine, but I've only mined 5 copper ores before this place was occupied by exotic beasts. For now, I can only chop wood, but I haven't even gathered a single one. I'll collect more materials. It'll be better for me when I leave the camp 3 days later. God rewards hard work. The materials in Mike's backpack increased rapidly. He shouldn't have a shortage of materials for the time being. Mike successfully created 100 traps, so he no longer paid attention to the trade market. At most, he looked to see if there were any blueprints for sale. For the rest of his time, Mike buried himself in farming monsters. Everything else was fake. Only the levels, attributes, and blueprints were real. If only he encountered another boss. Or even a level 20 boss. The rewards would definitely be generous. That would be the most promising. Time passed. The camp's time limit was getting closer and closer to an end. Many players felt a sense of doom. Although they already had a lot of materials in their hands and had a lot of black-striped gr.s.s, it would not be a problem for them to recover their energy 2 or 3 times on average. But they were too weak. So 2 or 3 times wasn't enough for them. Mike is insane. He has been selling his materials for so long and still hasn't met the end of his supply. Instead, he's selling more and more. This means that the materials mean nothing to him, but yet he's selling them to us at such an expensive price. He's simply a profiteer. Who can find Mike's location? I seriously suspect that he ran into some big treasury. Many people were complaining. But even though they said so, the purchase of materials had not slowed down. Due to the large number of materials being purchased from Mike, it was more difficult to gather wood, iron ores, and copper, which is why they felt that the transaction was too expensive. I found out that wood can be picked up. I picked up 3 pieces of wood on the ground and I'm 1 step closer to energy. Hey. While the transactions continued, the World Channel messages kept flashing. Somewhere, a 30-man party gradually noticed the speculation in the World Channel. With an abundance of materials, Mike must be picking up his natural resources somewhere. It was impossible for an individual to create so many special materials. So where was he picking them from? The 30-man party, with the highest level member exceeding level 20, would search a large area and try to find those materials. They didn't believe that there was only one place that had such materials. Everyone had a stalk of black-striped grass. The black-striped grass that had been purified was white and very special. They used this as reference. As long as we find those materials, we won't have to worry about energy anymore. This big problem would be solved. The party leader said, "We have more people, so we can definitely find more of these materials. When the time comes, we'll lower the price, monopolize the market, and make a fortune. We could become super merchants. And with this as the foundation, we can become the richest people here and monopolize countless other materials in the future. When that time comes, everyone in this party would become pros. Exotic beasts. Let the poor handle it." They had a beautiful fantasy that motivated them to search harder. After a period of time, they really found something. They picked a grey plant on a mountain that looked very much like black-striped grass. This was a mutated type of black-striped grass. It was slightly white. Not only did its effects not increase, but was also more toxic than ordinary black-striped grass. Although it was not a white black-striped grass, it was familiar to these people. Why did it resemble the special material that Mike was selling? The special material and black-striped grass, besides the color, are almost identical. The patterns on them are exactly the same. Could it be the black-striped grass? The people in the party guessed. After repeated comparisons, they found that it really was. They felt like the black-striped grass was the right answer. "Let's try eating one." The soldiers let the weakest of them consume it. Even if they died, it would not be a big loss. Gulp. The black-striped grass was consumed. 10 points of poison were not fatal. It would be slowly expelled as time passed. Their energy increased by 2 to 5. However, this was a situation where only one stalk of black-striped grass was consumed. If it was consumed in large quantities, that would be hard to say. It's effective. This person only consumed one stalk of black-striped grass and did not feel any signs of toxicity. He only felt that his energy was recovering. "I've increased my energy by 3 points. I don't feel that there are any other problems. It really works." Are the ones sold at the trade market really black-striped grass? But why is it white? I think it's because of this. This Mike accidentally consumed the black-striped grass and luckily found a special effect, so he wanted to sell the black-striped grass for money. Because he was worried that people would recognize the black-striped grass and not buy it, he leaked the information and deliberately dyed it white to confuse people, the party leader speculated. It makes sense. That must be the case. So it was dyed black-striped grass after all this time. I thought it was some kind of treasure. But didn't Mike's black-striped grass recover 4 to 10 energy points? Why does this black-striped grass only increase 3 points of energy? It's just a small difference. Don't overthink it. We'll also dye it white and compete with Mike. Our price will be lower than his. Let's squeeze him out of the trade market. Right. Let's do it. We invited him to join our party before, but he ignored our private messages. Now we'll make him regret it. We'll monopolize this market. They found a way to dye it. Although it was very simple and not as natural as Mike's black-striped grass, it would not fade after drying. It was also effective, so it was barely enough. Soon it was listed on the trade market and was promoted around the world. A special material with a lower price has been put on the shelves. It's exactly the same as Mike's. The price is twice as low as his and the seller also accepts monetary transactions. This news spread and caused a huge uproar. Countless people who were against Mike were in support of the new product when it appeared.